What inspired you to join the Army? It was like,
so at this point, before I joined the military, me and my wife were married. We got married whenever, right when I was like 20 years old, right? We were 20, and we had already had 2 kids at that time. Already bought a home. I mean, it was not a great home. It was like plaster walls, like the floor was coming up, but it was ours, right? So we bought it. A small bank gave us a loan for it. And I think at that time, I think we spent like $18,000 for the home, so it was a small home. But I was working in and out of other jobs, but I was still in the same neighborhoods and everything else that I was before, right? And we were living, actually at that point, we were living in the rural areas.
Yeah.
But there was still nothing going on there. So my measure of success was to get my family out of that environment to put them somewhere else. So that's why I looked at success at that point. Is like, I don't want my kids raised here. I don't want them to deal with the same things I do. I want to try to give them the best opportunity they possibly can, so they can go to college or so they can flourish. So that's why I joined the military, because just college just wasn't in the cards for me. Because like I said, I was young. I was already married, had kids. Like the Army or the military was where I went to. So that's the main reason why I joined.
Infantry contract?
So no, I didn't get infantry contract. So when I originally went in, they had, you go to the MEP station, and they gave me underwater welding. It was like I said, you had underwater welding and then a commo guy.
Yeah.
And the only thing I knew about the commo guy is like he's the first guy that get killed in the war movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the only thing I knew. I'm like, I don't want to do that. And then I'm like, underwater welding. I'm like, I was kind of looking for the thrill, the adrenaline rush. And this was before September 11th.
Yeah.
So infantry was an option. So I was like, no, I don't want to do those. And they're like, well, infantry was an option. But for me, I was like, this was pre 9/11.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna see any combat or nothing there or whatever, or any action, So I was like, what about MP? I want to do MP. And they're like, no, it's not available. So I'm like, all right, I left. So I left the MEP stations. And then my recruiter calls me and he goes, hey, if they're going to give it to you now, will you go sign? So I went upstairs and signed it. And then that's where they sent me. So that's why I started out. I started out as the MP all the way up until the initial invasion in Iraq.
Okay.
Right. And then I went to our initial invasion with Afghanistan happened, right, during September 11th. And then and I didn't go to Afghanistan at all. Once we went into Iraq, I went into Iraq with the MP unit, like the initial invasion. But I was in like the FLOT. I was like right behind the FLOT, right? So I didn't really see a whole bunch of combat in Iraq, And then, but we were assigned to an SF team. And I was like, those guys were out there running and gunning. So I'm like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So came back from there and then went to selection.
And what was, I know we've had a couple of guys on here talk about selection, but what was selection like for you?
So selection for me, it's kind of one of those funny things. I don't know how it was. Like, I think everybody's got their own experience or whatever, but I put selection on such a high pedestal and I trained for it that when I got there, I'm like, it wasn't as difficult as what I thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong. There's times it was like really, really difficult. Like log PT was difficult. A team week was difficult. When you did the land nav course for the STAR course, like that one, I was blade running at the end. Like I almost didn't find my last point for that one. But it really was funny to me how many guys were quitting. It rained. People quit.
Yeah.
Day one, people are quitting.
Yeah. What'd you think you came here for?
Like, what did you come here for?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what do you think you were getting yourself into?
Right.
So that was the one thing that was kind of really opened my eyes to like people and what they kind of thought and like the human domain and that. To me, I just didn't understand that. And then there's the guys where you like thought like, oh, that guy's going to make it. And he didn't make it. And that guy is like, oh, no, that guy's not going to make it. And he made it. Right. So that opened up my eyes to that whole different thing. Like never judge a book by its cover and soft, because there's guys that you don't think will make it that will make it. They'll prove you wrong because they just don't have a quit in them, And there's guys that walk around and you're like, oh, that guy's like what a soft guy should look like. Right. And he doesn't make it at all. So.
What 18 series did you?
So I came in as the 18 Bravo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the weapon sergeant.
Weapon sergeant.
Sergeant.
Yep. And And then you went from there to first group.
Seventh group.
Seventh. Okay, you seventh group the whole time.
Yeah, seventh group the whole time.
Right on,
Yeah.
right on. So obviously,
So I had seventh group. So I went to seventh group first when I was at Bragg, and then when they Bragg did the BRAC move, I ended up going to do my instructor time. I was an instructor at the 18 Bravo Weapons Committee.
right on.
So really enjoyed that time too, man. It was really, really good. And being an instructor, trainer, I really enjoyed that.
So tell us about Afghanistan, Iraq as a Green Beret.
So when I originally got to the unit to seventh group I went to selection in 2004. And after you went to the Q course, I got to group around the end of 2006, the beginning of 2007, roughly. Mm-hmm. And then once I got there, the company was going to PMT, right? Luckily, I got there after I signed out of the Q course and I donned my Green Beret. I didn't take leave. So I went to the unit before everybody else did because I heard that if you got there quick before everybody else, before the group CSM assigned guys, right, that you'd be able to get a pick where you went. So I showed up there and they were like, "Oh, group CSM doesn't have you slotted anywhere. Where do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Who's going to combat?" And they're like, "First Battalion," right? And I'm like, "All right, that's where I want to go." So they sent me in a Bravo company, and that's one of those things like be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
because the reality of it like hits, So went over there, went to PMT, and then shipped off.
What's PMT?
PMT is like pre-mission training.
Yeah,
I forget.
It's like you work up, right?
It's like the workup. It's like before you go out any kind of operations, you're just going to do a training event before whatever mission set you're going to.
Yeah.
So if we're going to Central or South America, it'll be focused on that. Mm. If we're going to Afghanistan or Iraq, depending on what the mission set is, then you'll prepare for that. It'll be like your last preparation, and it gives one last look at the teams to see, okay, hey, are these teams performing? Do we have them in the right, mission AORs, set, mission set, and everything else? Yep. Do I need to make any changes before we leave out? So, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I always tell my guys, like, you should be trained up before you go to PMT.
Right.
Like the team should be ready to rock and roll before they go to PMT. Like don't wait to PMT.
Eval, right?
I take PMT as an eval because your higher ups looking at that, right? You don't go there like thinking, oh, okay, I'm going to get ready there. No.
Yeah, it's a difference in deployment if you're going to be benched during your deployment or actually how utilized you're going to be.
Exactly, too. Yeah, I guess depending on where you're at, you may not have that case. But when you're going to combat, like PMT is not the time to like, oh, this is what I need to fix. Like have that before you go to PMT. Like this is my evaluation. Yeah, treat it like combat. Yeah. So we did that, came back, and then straight over to Afghanistan, man. So we originally went to Mahalik, I want to say. Mm-hmm. We were there, which was kind of funny because the guys on the team, it was really nice. And I'm like, this isn't a deployment, And I was just kind of joshing them a little bit. We were there for maybe a week, and they sent us to Sangin to Fob Rob.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and then from there, we were there maybe, like I said, Mahalik for a week, went to Fob Rob, and then like 10 months there.
For those listening, Sangin is, I've never been to Sangin. Tons of friends have been to Sangin, anywhere between 2007, probably 2012, especially. I know for a fact, lots of guys from 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines that were Sangin 2011. Horrible place to be, just intense combat.
Yeah, during that trip, our ODA, like to kind of give an idea, is we went out from Fob Rob and we would do combat operations. We would leave, we'd be gone for 3 to 7 days, and then we'd either do a resupply there or resupply when we get back. And we were troops in contact every day we're out.